I'm gonna get back to that story, Sonny. Just, just you listen to Boomer Great One. He's gonna tell you about how it was back in the olden days, back before fire, back when we walked uphill for everything. In fact, we didn't even have a concept of downhill because there was no downhill. Everything was uphill. We thought that was normal. We didn't even have a word for it because there was no alternative. It was uphill all the time. You just need to reach down and grab yourselves by your bootstraps and pull yourselves up, Sonny. Because when I was your age, I bought a house for $25,000. And I made that money on my paper route and bussing tables at the local cafe. And if I could do it, you can do it too. You just need to reach down and pull yourself up and just buckle up there, buckaroo. God, I hate boomers.
So Cappy is obviously in the Northern Command. You can tell by the higher quality audio because I have my entire room soundproofed with sound paneling. And as it was a great day in Rapid City, because you get back and you're like, okay, we got a list of things to do, which requires I go into town. And thus my half an hour, I can set that aside. I'll tell you the story. I'll get to the point. Fast forward or fuck off. I love the kid. Remember when concern trolls were a thing? Like, guys, do you think I give a fuck? Of all the people, you're going to say, well, I would like you to do it this way. You think I'm the one that's going to listen? Anyway, so I got to go half an hour into town, get stocked up on coffee, this and that and this, stop at the bank, do banking things. And I'm leaving the coffee store and I'm backing out right in a parking lot. And then behind me, not only am I in a parking lot, but you go further behind, there's a road. And as I'm backing up, I turn in the rear view mirror and I see like, that looks like Great One's car. And then it moves a little bit and I see the guy driving and it has some eccentricities. I'm like, that is Great One's car. And the Great One's looking is like, is that Cappy's car? So then I put her into first and I'm driving forward. So now I'm in the parking lot driving northbound. Great One's in the road driving northbound, but he's got to come to a stop. And it was the perfect time where we look over at each other and we give each other the finger. That was a great day in Rapid City. It was a great day. That made my day, man. Made my day. Fuck you. Oh, so I, Atham, look it up. I went to the GameStop in the Rapid City because I wanted to get the non-woke girl boss, fat lesbian black chick, whatever the latest thing is you people create. I wanted to get the one that was made by a team that was good, Expedition 33. And I go to the GameStop and the guy's like, oh no, we don't have that in stock. I'm like, oh, okay. So I got to wait. So I left and across the street is a former David's Bridal. The thumbnail I found, I took that picture. It's a Cappy original picture. And it was obviously the signs had been taken off, but the water stains had remained. And I said, so is David's Bridal belly up? Because we all know the wedding industry is going to shit. People going online. People aren't getting married. So I already knew the macroeconomic demographic headwinds facing it. But I was like, okay, are they belly up? So I looked them up. You read it. This is from March. There was another article about how David's Bridal is looking to aim for Gen Z brides. I'm like, oh, that's good air. Selling ice to Eskimos. David's Bridal taps new CEO as it looks to become media company, build online marketplace. Not necessarily wrong. You look at the lingerie industry. That's why Fredericks of Hollywood and Victoria's Secrets kind of fell behind, is because they still want to have physical stores. I understand like wedding dresses and all that. You do need to physically, wear those. Uh, but you're going to become an online media company. Media company. So this is more of a lifestyle brand. So you're doing the Jaguar thing. We're going to become a lifestyle brand. We're not going to make cars no more. Harley did the same thing. Well, we're going to be a community and we're going to do the rewiring. Hey, fellow kids, wouldn't it be cool to get on a Harley? By the way, we hate white people. What do you mean our majority of our consumers are white males? Well, they just better get with the time and start hating themselves, said the now fired CEO. Are you still there? Joaquin, whatever. You German fuckwit. Anyway. David's Bridal taps new CEO as it looks to become media company, build online marketplace. David's Bridal has a new CEO at the helm as it works to build out advertising network and online marketplace. The bridal retailer, which emerged from its second bankruptcy nearly 2 years ago, is expanding into new categories beyond wedding dresses, but will use outside vendors to produce and ship the products. I don't have to read through the whole article. Why are you in business? Like when do you acknowledge that the cars are replacing horses and buggies? Is it really? And who are you people that are agreeing to these refinance bankruptcy terms? Who are you creditors thinking there's some kind of hope that, well, if we restructure again, 2 bankruptcies and now we're on a new, the last bankruptcy was 2 years ago. Now you're already on to a new CEO. And now we're going to become an online influencer. Give it up. Give it up. There's no profit here. I understand the movement to online. That makes sense because brick and mortar shops are expensive. But the wedding industry as a whole, there's no weddings. Did you see all the fat people? What's funny is David's Bridal is not more than half a mile away from the Walmart. Do you guys need to go like on a field trip? Do you need to go to universities and see how much the women are raised not to want to have kids or get married and don't need no man still to this day? Have you not seen the men kind of walking away from it and say, fuck this shit, I'm out? Why? The larger question I got is it would be akin to Playboy or Vox or what's one that's Sports Illustrated? What's one that's just dead and they keep trying to limp it all? Yahoo. Why are you taking obsolete? Not they're dead. These are dead or they're in hospice care type of brands. What makes you think there's value there? And what I've never understood is the money that be the financiers. I mean, I guess you guys are the same fuckwits that, we'll lend money for a $500,000 loan, ninja loan with somebody with a credit score of 520. I guess you guys are still around. When you look at these dying companies, why are you agreeing to the terms? Why not say, no, liquidate the assets, at least let me get 30% of my money back? What's with this hopium? Are you all like shooting up Barack Obama? Is Barack Obama selling his blood on the market too? We know we got the privileged white girl blood from Edina, where if you shoot it up, you think you can have whatever job you want and the money will follow, right? And the only people who get that are pretty white girls from the suburbs who have rich dads, right? But then Norman Normanson shoots it up and thinks that his, standard, boring, typical, average-looking white dude ass is going to go get $100,000 a year job at Daddy's art gallery. Are you guys shooting up the Barack Hussein Obama hope blood? Like, well, hopefully things just turn around. If I had a fucking penny every time I saw that on a refinance or we need a loan extension, and hopefully things just turn around, I'd be very, very, very wealthy. I'd have probably 100 pennies by now. Where I want to say, where's the smart money and where are the smart people, at least the cynical people, to say this is the Titanic. If there is a Titanic, metaphorically speaking, in the U.S. market, the U.S. economy, it would be the wedding industry. wouldn't it make more sense? Like, okay, hold on. Before we waste everybody's time and money, before we waste this guy, I don't even know who the new CEO, his name is or her name is. Before we waste their time trying to make this sinking ship go, before we do any of this, should we just admit that this ship is sinking? We should be abandoning it. Should we get as many people on the lifeboats? We got some nice properties. We got some inventory. We got I don't know, we got some marketable security. We got some assets. Let's liquidate it now. Give the lenders back as much money as possible so their haircut is as small as possible. And we're out of this business. And then money can be reinvested in industries that have a chance of a profit, of providing a good service or product that will more reliably and stably employ employees, create careers, perhaps even, right? What's David's Bridal going to do? Well, you're gonna borrow money from lenders. That will keep the company on life support for another year max. I don't know. I have to look at the finances, but it's not going to last long. People are going to go work there. I'm sure not. People aren't hanging their hat like I'm going to become president and CEO of David's Bridal, but only to be closed down. Why not throw that money into, seriously, as an economist to me, why don't we throw that into trade school? Why don't you investors take your money? I mean, what's David's Bridal? Maybe a couple $100 million, can't be that. I don't even think it's going to be $1 billion. But the wedding, and what is the wedding industry? Let me here. You guys ready to do some economic analysis? You guys want to come along on an economic journey? Would you all like to be junior deputy economists? Would you like to economics too? Let's do a little bit of research here with the powers of the internet. Size of U.S. wedding industry. No. Wait, that's the value. Okay. By budget revenue. I need revenue. That's right. Wedding industry statistics. Wedding. I don't want worldwide. I want the U.S. Wedding. Depicts global wedding, 350 billion. I want U.S. wedding. Global wedding. Okay, destination weddings. No, that's not what I want. U.S. wedding size service, because they're going to say it's valued at. I don't want the value. That's not sales. That's just what idiots are willing to buy the company for. Valued, the U.S. wedding services market valued at $65 billion. I want to know what the sales are. Consumer insights. Average cost incurred. Maybe it's not as easy as I thought. Okay, let's look up wedding sales. Sales of U.S. wedding industry. India medicine hat. Oh, do I got to do a ballpark where we divide by price to sales? Annual spending on weddings in the U.S. See how I did that, boys and girls? Average cost of a wedding. I want total wedding expenditure. According to 2024, couples plan to spend an average of $31,000. Oh, you mean the amount that you could pay off your student loans with? The same exact amount the average student loan balance is. You know what? Grok. Why did Cap? My mistake. I'm sorry, boys and girls. I should have just done Grok. I don't know why I went to Google. No, I know why, because I'm conditioned. What is the annual expenditures on weddings in the U.S.? I forgot the original reason I'm looking this up, even because in the olden days, we could have just gotten the data. Now I go to Grok. I don't know why I started. Total annual expenditure United States 61.8 billion? 2020 other sources be worth. No, that's worth. Okay, these numbers are all over the place. So again, I don't trust. Okay. $61 billion. That seems like a lot. Hang on, let me do the math on this. I'm going to do my own math. If I can find my calculator button that's hidden behind the camera. Okay. I believe the 31,000 figure, 123 times 2.24 million weddings, 69 billion. Okay, hear me out on this, okay? Half of you going to get divorced, right? So half that money is wasted. The remaining, what is it? Out of the 72% of you who remain married are going to be miserable. Because only 14% of marriages are happy. If I did the math right on that. So 86% of that money is wasted. So now here we got numbers. Isn't it great being how do you like economics, boys and girls? Isn't this fun? So we got $69 billion times 14. Let's do 86, the waste. That gives us, we spend $59 billion a year annually on a waste. Actually, that could go and do some serious damage over time into the student loan debt. Why don't we, for let's say 5 years, set up some serious trade schools that will train and license and certify? Because I'm sick and tired of waiting for you union baby boomer boss dickheads to give young people a shot. Go fuck yourself. Okay. So 5, that's $250 billion, maybe $300 billion. That should set up a massive trade school program where we'd have enough men and women going into the trades to actually produce something of value in this society instead of wedding consultants with an endowment that should last them a while, right? So if all you people who are going to get divorced anyway, or you're going to get fat and make your lives miserable and your spouse's lives miserable, let's just take that $59 billion a year and spend it on trade schools. So you tell me what will put the country as a whole in a better footing. You tell me what's more efficient, what's more economic. We continue pissing away $70 billion a year, which is going to go down, by the way. I'm surprised it's even that much. I am surprised it's that much. But we know it's going down. Of which 86% is going to be misery, right? I'm not being facetious. I'm not being a doomer pill. I'm giving you the maths. Look it up if you want. So instead of us spending that $60 billion a year on being miserable, what if we spend it on trade schools, right? So what would be better for the economy? And that's my whole point. Now, this is just one company. Look, guys, instead of limping this body along, instead of limping this body on life support along for another year or two, why don't we just throw in the towel, say, yeah, this thing is done and over with, and we're going to take our money and invest it in something else. Now, I think one of the more higher ROI investments the economy as a whole could make would be trade schools. But it could be whatever you want. Maybe if we put more time and money into getting the video game I want manufactured, that would increase everybody's standards of living. What if we just had more roads, better roads, more efficient roads, higher internet access, right? There's a lot of things we could do with this money. Why don't we just stop it with that, with the wedding industry, okay? Like, and girls, come on, give up on it, all right? You're not going to have your day. You're not. You're going to be thinking of the other guy while you're getting married, the one that got away. You're going to divorce this guy. Can we just stop the facade? Seriously. And how much better off would we be if we didn't get divorced? Now, it's impossible to know because you think, I'm in love, and you think it's going to last you death do you part. And we all laugh at you. But if there's a magical way to know, and then we prevent everybody from getting married who are going to get divorced and be miserable and get fat anyway, wouldn't that also be a tremendously large benefit to people's standards of living, albeit not a financial standard of living. Like it doesn't increase your income per capita, but never going through divorce, never fucking up your kids like that. Huh? Huh? And then the lawyers, they could go and spend their time on whatever, suing companies that discriminate against white males. I mean, there's a lot of better things we could be doing with this money, is what I'm saying. And I gotta imagine, like the CEO, I can imagine the the people are getting paid a lot of money and got their parachute. Okay, yeah, go make your $1.5 million or whatever it is you're getting paid, and then you know it's going to sink. But there's got to be a lot of people in middle management who actually got to make it go. Come on, man, that's a life of misery. Could you imagine trying to get a company like a bridal shop, a physical bridal shop to turn around? Could you imagine just what else was like diamond jeweler? Hang on, I bet you if we look at this, jewelers closing news. I know it's a biased search. I'm aware of that. Georgia Diamond Jewelers closing up shop. Wenatchee. De Beers is closing its lab-grown diamond jewelry business, Lightbox. Really? Oh, I gotta pay to see this, huh? The brand changed its name when started Lightbox, increased demand for man-made diamonds with the endeavor, making a strong distinction between traditional and lab-grown. Upon its launch, 800 a carat. Now, though, prices of synthetic diamonds have plummeted 90%. Why did it plummet by 90%? I gotta imagine some of it is men ain't buying these girls' diamonds. Because gotta be, who's buying girls' diamonds? Really? Who? Declining value planned. This is 5 days, by the way. Noted the competition for man-made diamonds has increased as of late, thanks for low-cost production in China. Lab-grown gems, synthetic 1950, latest lab-grown. This is kind of interesting that they're lab-grown, like the history of them. Back in 1954, when General Electric used a technique called high-pressure, high-temperature. Put it in his ass, will make a diamond. So you're not going to tell me why diamond prices are going down? Why are diamond let's type in that. Why are diamond prices falling? Let's try that. Diamond decline due to several factors. Lab-grown diamonds, decrease in demand and economic. Why is there a decrease in demand? Are we going to say the impolite part out loud? Fewer marriages and engagements. Oh my God, thank you very much. Diamond market is losing its shine. Here it is, 2025. Right. So diamonds are going down. Hang on. So there was, help me out, guys. Wedding planners. That's every woman's dream, right? To avoid work and then imagine, right? Dude, I knew 2 young ladies who were going to major in event planning management. I'm like, you got to be fucking joking me. Wedding planner industry statistics. Global. I don't want the global. Look, we're in. I'm sorry. Hang on. I should have done grok. I apologize. I apologize. Is the wedding planning industry growing or shrinking in the U.S.? It's got to be going down. Mixed trends. Oh, here's that 64 billion again. Shrinking demand for traditional wedding planners. Wedding planner segment facing challenges. Industry revenue for wedding planners was estimated 1.2 billion in 20. Boy, that's impressive. You got You got data for wedding planners, but not the wedding industry in general. A decline of 12%? 12% from 2023? Contract do-it-yourself weddings, 27%. Oh, so people aren't even hiring them anymore. Woo, I love being right. I the thing that makes me happiest in my life is when it's not that I want to be right. That's not like if I'm proven wrong, like your theory was wrong. I'm like, oh, my theory was wrong. What was the flaw in my thinking? What was the flaw in my theory? But when it all starts to form and I see the ones and the zeros in the matrix, I'm like, I bet you that number's going down. And it is. And all you delusional, soft, emotional people really, really want to be in another way. Like you dipshits who thought Obama was going to make you rich. Oh my God, you're still poor. You had managed to have like 5 more kids along the way. Got yourself a master's degree in what? Oh, the poor person's degree, criminal justice. There it is. That's the surefire sign degree that you are not going to be able to make your rent. I love it when I'm right. I love like, hey, that's right. That's correct. And yeah, oh, that's just too bad. The wedding planning. Oh, that's horrible because it was so important. The bridal retailer, which emerged from its second bankruptcy nearly 2 years ago, is expanding into new categories beyond wedding dresses, but will use outside vendors to produce and ship the products. The brides are evolving, and we're evolving with her. They're going away. And if they're evolving, what? Just larger sizes? No joke, really. Can we be adults about that? Like, yeah, people are fatter. Yeah, surprise. People aren't getting married. Men are proposing less. Kelly Cook, David's incoming CEO, told CNBC in an interview, David's Bridal has tapped the new CEO to lead the company as it looks to transform from a legacy retailer into a bridal media powerhouse. Oh, God, just knock it off. Is this to get investors? Powerhouse. No, you're not a powerhouse. Nearly 2 years after emerging from its second bankruptcy, Kelly Cook, the current president of brand technology and finance, will take over as David's CEO on April 1st, who will become just the second woman Kelly is a woman, just the second woman in the company's 75-year history to hold its top job. No one cares. We just care that you're the best, lady. That's it. As part of Cook's appointment as chief executive, current CEO Jim Markham will become David's executive chairman in addition to his current role as chairman of the board. Doesn't that take work? You got to sit in these board meetings? Look, I'm a serious question. Don't you guys got enough money? Wouldn't you just be like, yeah, we're closing up shop. I'm going home. I don't want to do this. I want to go fishing. I want to retire. Like, really? Like, if you got enough money, why would you keep this dead thing going along? In an interview with CNBC, Cook outlined her vision for the company and the work she's doing to bring David into the future. At the heart of the new strategy is positioning David's as a media company that uses content to bring customers and then uses the data to drive advertising revenue for its newly launched Pearl Media Network. Oh my God. The time to start this was 10, 15 years ago to get it. Never mind. On the retail side of the business, David's plans to build out an online marketplace and become an asset-light business that relies on a network of vendors to create products and fulfill orders. All right, so we're just keeping the brand alive, right? This is BuzzFeed. This is, hey, remember David's Bridal when people used to get married? We're on the Pearl now. How is this? So we already sell about a third of the wedding dresses in the United States. What, really? You're that big. A third. That's impressive. That must be why they closed down. You come to Rapid City, you will realize why a lot of men are not proposing. I'm not- my girlfriend, God bless her, I do love her. She says, "Well, if I die, because we're talking with a friend about estate planning." I'm like, "Oh yeah, if I'm dead, she gets most of the estate, that kind of thing." He says, "Well, if I die, or like how would you?" That's right. We're talking about A friend of mine who we all know, well, how does he date? Well, he dates this way. Well, how would you date if I died? I straight up said, I would get whores. I would get prostitute. I just straight up, I'm not dating anyone. Which I think she was probably good. He won't fall in love again. But really, was it that bad? Wasn't wasn't that it was that bad? I was just like, dude, I'm not going to go back through that dating shit. But I'm impressed. A third. That's serious. And you're shutting down. Oh, that was the thing. Like, there ain't gonna be date. Look, if I become the next most available bachelor in Rapid City, I ain't dating. I'm gonna like, I don't know, go to Denver, fly to Vegas, some fucking place. Here's the money. Let's have an evening together. And by evening, I mean like 30 minutes. Now go away. I'm gonna be one romantic bastard if I'm ever single again. Can I come over? No, you can't. I'll go get a hotel for us. But you live in town. I know. And you're not going to find out where I live. That way I don't have my tires slashed. So we already sell about a third of the wedding dresses in the United States. The bridal dress is what we do. It's who we are. But we are expanding the shopping side of it to include more categories that she's asking for. Men's suits, menswear, rentals, swimwear, occasional dresses, party dresses. Lingerie. Oh, wait, you're selling to women. I forgot.
Ew, you just ain't like that. You probably think that's it. I'm not going to put that on. You better not expect me to serve you drink. I find it degrading and disgusting.
Lady, we ain't even married yet, and you sound like a 58-year-old spinster. What's going I haven't even asked you on a date. Can you wait until we're married before you pull that shit off? Can you at least wait until we're married before you tell me we're not having sex? Like every other married couple? Jeez, there's a timing here, woman. That's another thing I love being proven correct about is that joke, why don't you get married? Because I want to have sex. And everybody knows the women get harumphy, but they don't tisk, and the men laugh their fucking ass off. Because I'm right. Because I'm fucking right. All that is being added through a drop ship marketplace model that allows us to add vendors very, very quickly, allows us to scale very, very quickly versus in the past where we would have to build more stones and then more square footage. Dude, so you're a one-person operation. Really, why not just sell it on Amazon? Well, seriously, just stupid me, gray-haired white dude. Why wouldn't you just strictly stick with the brand and sell on Amazon? Why even deal with creating your own network? Except maybe to advertise, I guess. Why not just list it on there? Right. Are you going to set up your own online store? Are you using the remnants of your previous online store? I'd just be going to Amazon. If you're a drop shipper, really source it from China, have it made with lead or cadmium or whatever they're putting in bridal dresses now. Put it on Amazon, slap on David's Bridal. Really? I mean, really? No? Imagine me. Cappy's wedding dresses is just like this shortest fucking skirt, tallest fucking heels. Yes, we've heard you the past 40 years. Shut up.
You just want one thing.
Yes, we do.
Well, yeah, that's gross.
No, it's not. You're wrong. Explain to me why that's why is that shallow? Why is it gross? Explain that to me. Never understood that. I mean, are you going to shame someone for liking chocolate ice cream or sugar more than carrots? I mean, really? What? Versus one in the past where we would have to build more stores and add more square footage. David's efforts to transform come nearly 2 years after it emerged from a pandemic-induced bankruptcy that nearly ended its business. You know what? I'll grant you there. You're right. That did have an effect. You're right. Managed to keep around 200 stores open after receiving a no-cash bid from asset manager Scion Investment Corp., the only firm willing to acquire Dave's stores and inventory, not just its brand name and intellectual property, reports said previously. Now David's is attracting a new slate of investors. Who are you people? Who? It is not, what's his name? Berkshire Hathaway guy. He's not these investors. Who are these investors that are buying this shit? Said Tuesday it received capital commitments from a number of firms, including private equity platforms and those that offer debt. Of course. Am I always going to be right for the rest of my life? I'm going to have an existential crisis. I'm like, am I ever going to be wrong again? Will that affect me? What if I'm never wrong again? I just bet 1,000. Won't they get boring not having failure so that I might celebrate the rare successes? What if I'm successful and right all the time? I'll just get sick of it. It'll be like that guy in the Twilight Zone episode who finds out he's in hell. Now David is attracting a new slate of investors. Oh, I already got that. It declined to name the firms, but said the new capital will be used to fuel the company's transformation. Cook said the company was able to woo investors by touting its new take on bridal retail. Currently, David's manufactures about 90 to 95% of its inventory, but is aiming to get the business down to 50-50 split between its own manufacturing and outside vendors, said Cook. Why not get rid of all of it? That's got to be very expensive. Just slap your brand name on it and call it a day. The transition into an asset-light model will help shield the company from the existential risk that pushed it into bankruptcy twice before, inventory and store leases, which can be some of the biggest burdens on a company's balance sheet. Plus, it's following behind the likes of Walmart in its expansion into advertising or so-called retail media, which is a way for relevant brands to advertise to consumers directly on retailers' websites or in its stores, among other places. Retail media is a novel way for companies to generate new streams of revenue at a time when specialty retail has never been harder to get right. Rising competition, uncertain demand, and the breakneck speed that trends move at these days has forced legacy players to get more creative. Company says that it serves 90% of the overall bridal market, but only sells about a third of all wedding dresses in the U.S. I have a question, serious question. Wasn't half the wedding experience that women got to go in and try the dresses, right? Like physically, kind of like a guy would go test drive a car, right? You guys wouldn't buy a car sight unseen. And then you girls, whatever, champagne and there's chocolates and your besties are there. Oh my God. I think it's a ridiculous waste of time, but it's something you like, right? So is that even going to happen? Or Gen Z girls, all three of them that are interested in marriage, do they just not care? And yeah, I'm going to wear this dress and sure, it's got a mat. It's got like the ceremony, the procedure of going through and, squeeze. We're going to go and try on wedding dresses. Yes, I roll, but women enjoyed that. So isn't that doesn't that go away now with the online? It's going away anyway because ain't nobody getting married. But if men were to suddenly say get a hankering for fat, overweight, indebted, worthless, degreed chicks to get married to, they all of a sudden had this and they started, I was going to say applying, proposing again. And there was a resurgence. Do you think they would go back in person? Oh,
You're so mean.
shh. No one cares. It'll also need to carefully manage its debt and ensure these new strategies pay off to avoid finding itself in a bankruptcy court for a third time. You're going to end up in a bankruptcy court for a third time. And the private equity guys are going to have all their fingers and all their buddies with their consultancies. If they're not already paid now, they're paid later. It's like watching some guy or gal get on Jenny Craig for the third time. Like, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. David is a private company and doesn't disclose its revenue or profit, but Cook said the company is planning to scale in a way that drives profitability as fast as possible. It's definitely a new era for David, for sure, said Cook. The brides are evolving and we're evolving with her. Let me look her up. Kelly brides are evolving. We're evolving with her. Kelly Cook. Let me look her up. Why would you look her up? I just want to see if I would or wouldn't. Isn't that kind of shh? No one cares anymore. Oh my God, that's just so. It's just so. Well, Photoshop. A flamboyant. It's a great picture. Her LinkedIn profile is a great picture, and I don't necessarily mean like she's hot. Like that's a really stunning, good, fun. Like wow. Kelly Cook. Kelly Cook. There's a lot of Kelly Cook. Oh, no, I don't think so. Hang on. What the hell? Boy, there's a lot of photoshopping in all these, man. No, not that one. No. I see this one. She looked like how you doing, and then the other one is no. But regardless, all these pictures are they're good. Like photographers could probably study. Like that's a hell of a profile pic. I do wish him the best. I do. But I just think we should be building trade schools. That's what I think. That's what we should be doing is building trade schools, and where we can all start building our own housing. That I think would be much better for the economy. Let's go to the super chats. Ass Bucket, $2. Welcome back to the Blue Rubber Band. Yep, there it is, right there. That's the second Blue Rubber Band. Just as many bankruptcies as David's Bridals. I had 2 rubber bands. YouTube viewer, $5. I heard a lot of small-scale tailors and wedding planners got a good portion of their business fixing the crappy dresses made by David's Bridal. I wouldn't doubt it. Well, in their defense, not just David Bridal, but all bridal, how long has it got to last, right? It's got to last one night, right? So how much quality are you really going to put into it? It's just got to last a night, right? So, how many times do you wear it? You wear it once. But I got my tuxedo that bought it at 19 years old, still fit into it to today. That tuxedo, I mean, I've worn it 2 score of times. It doesn't need to be the best craftsmanship. And it's lasted me, God, 31 years. I got a black suit that's lasted me 31 years. Also bought it at 19. Still one of my best looking suits. Standard black double-breasted suit. Why, hello, Catherine. Judy. Why, yes. Of course I am. Of course I'm the world's most famous ballroom dancing, fossil hunting, motorcycle riding, skirt chasing economist. Who did you think I was? Emmanuel Obang, $2. I'll save him no matter how many divorces it takes. Flat scan, 10 generous bucks. My business is in the wedding play. Here we got, dude, this is awesome. Thanks, Flat scan. We got inside baseball here. We got a legit agent in the field on the front lines. My business is in the wedding industry and work has not slowed for years. It has not slowed. So it is going up, according to you. Weddings are still happening, maybe only rich people, but my business is still going strong that we're turning away work. Really? So what the hell happened to my, there it, I hate this. I'm going to get a new microphone. Could it be the competency crisis, like that you run a good shop, whatever your service happens to be? Because overall the numbers are going down. I'm kind of curious. Don't send another one in. If you want to send me an email, I'm kind of curious about it. Samson Joshua, $5. If the wedding industry tanks, won't it make it impossible for people who want to get married in the distant future? All you got to do is go and say, do you want to get married? Yeah, I do. And then you go find some chaplain or some rabbi or an imam or whatever your religion happens to be, and you get married. That's it. Matter of fact, I don't think you need, because it's between you two. I don't know where all the external bullshit comes from. You really, it's just an agreement between two people. Do you want to get married? Yeah, yeah. Well, are we officially married now? Here's your ring. Thanks. I'm with you forever. Okay, cool. Elope. Go to have Elvis marry you. Have the flying Elvises marry you in Vegas. You parachute out and they marry you on the way down. Hub, 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 hub. And then your husband, you're single, fornicators up in the sky. And then when you're down, you're before you land, you're a married couple. Do that. How does you don't need, dude, weddings are fucking, no offense to Flatskin, are fucking pissing away your money. No, just pay off your student loans. But if I were to have an expensive wedding and I go to Flatskin, that'd be the only guy I go to. Sam Whiskey, most American name in America, $5. Cappy, do you foresee marriages becoming more volatile than cryptocurrency? No, I don't see them becoming volatile. I just see them phasing out, dwindling. They'll never go away. Unless, marriages, not necessarily the weddings. The marriages itself becoming volatile. See, define volatility. If we used divorce and ending of marriages as a measure of the volatility, like the more volatile, obviously, the higher the divorce rate, it doesn't seem that marriages are getting more volatile. The same percent of marriages overall are going down, but I believe the same percent are still getting divorced, 45% or so. But then the volatility, I don't know how you'd measure it. I'd speculate with the victim ideology embedded in young women, you'd have maybe more. I'd see the spineless men, the soy boys being like they don't stand up or set down boundaries or rules or standards. Maybe. But I don't think they're going to get any more volatile than they are now. Like they're going to be slash tires more. Are they? I don't know. The men are just so weak. Maybe there's not confrontations. I don't think it'll be more volatile. I think it will be the same. Ross the Skunk, $2. Laugh out loud. Took over as CEO on April 1st. Oh, I see that. Yeah. Sam Whiskey, $5. The Elvis wedding package starts at $349 in Vegas. There you go, man. There you go. You get a Spirit airline flights for you and your woman out there and back. Same night. Let's say it's $200 a piece. $400 for you out and back. 300, 400. An Uber there, out and back, $100, 400, 500, $850. You're married. Boom, back at home. And ladies, let's toss in for $25 little naughty, scrappy thing that you go buy at spicylingerie.com, which is about the only lingerie website that doesn't have plus size models. Add in another $25. It's going to make the guy happy. Boom. YouTube viewer, $5. Prom attendance is steadily going down. Good proxy. Good observation, YouTube viewer. Money on spent on prom dresses is going up. So attendance, the number of prom dresses is going down, but those that do spend it on prom is going up. Minnesota dads are buying princesses increasingly useless dresses. That's fine by a meme. It's Minnesota dads deserve to be the slaves of the rest of the Minnesota people. There's no better group of people that deserve to be enslaved than Minnesota fathers.
Nothing too good. What? How do you want me to vote, sweetheart? Against my own best interest to enslave myself to everyone else and give them my money? Well, you can't put a price on education. You're right.
You know, what do you hear? It sounds like a them problem. Dicastinator, $2. Bro, gotta drop ship, make banking, bro, dude, bro. I can't blame them. The brick and mortar thing ain't gonna work. They gotta go online, but I don't know what this whole brand. In that lady's defense, Kelly Cook looks to be like she has gravitas. She's a striking woman. Like if there's someone to be a figurehead, like look at her, you'd be like, you would like she could hold court. Looks like she looks like a fun gal. She's an interesting looking gal. Take a look at her. It. I mean, I don't know her resume or anything, but looking, I'm like, yeah, you need a flamboyant, powerful, energetic gal like that to stand a shot at this, to make an online brand. I'm being very, very skin deep. Just I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay. But yeah, I think that's about the only way. I would maintain the David's Bridal logo, have a media setup, like what's the latest at David's Bridal, sell their stuff on Amazon, other places, logo, have the Bride Talk podcast or something, get women really involved, go find some key influencers. I hate to say it, find some conservative traditional gals and have them talk about, because that's the market. Democrat women aren't getting married. Not happily anyway. Reen, $5 foolish Cappy. He thinks the Americans in these positions save their money. Come on, Cappy. You know they spend it on BS. Just look at Justin Bieber. Is he belly up? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You tell me that guy who could have tossed his money in the S&P 500 literally have $1 billion. Like Vanna White was paid $6 million. I was listening to the Tipping the Odds Vegas podcast. She was paid millions of dollars back in the 80s. I'm like, well, if she just spent half of it and threw the rest into the S&P 500, she'd have $1 billion. And her net worth is only like something like 25 million. I'm like, where'd the fucking money go? Okay. Please don't tell me. I've never hated Bieber. Justin Bieber broke. Justin Bieber sold Music Out for $200 million because he was. You give me $1 million, you're never going to see me again, let alone 200 million. Oh, Daniel Thrall, $2. If we expect women to give us sex without marriage, wouldn't they have the right to ask us for financial support without marriage? Just here. No, you're right. You're right. If we're doing traditional stuff. However, because I'm not traditional, in some ways I am, but from a secular, non-religious standpoint, no. I'm empirical. Women wanted equal treatment under the law, and the law is equal treatment. And I'm not against that. Maybe some social roles we could be, but no. You want to be equal. We're equal now. And I'm also not religious. So that no sex before marriage thing is strictly the domain of marriage. And let's be honest, 95% of the time, if you're religious, it still isn't followed. But yes, if you are under a traditional religious value system, whatever religion, yeah, there's no sex before marriage. And then, women could ask for, but I'm in the maybe it's more of an issue of buy versus rent. Isn't that kind of what happens in the secular world? If men are paying for dates and whatever, buying trinkets and doodads, isn't that kind of, you're still giving them financial support. Women are giving you sex, but it's not committed till death do you part. There's no vow or the ordainment of a religion. But yes, you are logically and intellectually correct there. But nowadays, I'd say secularly, it's like, nope, you're equal. This is all voluntary. You say you're pro-sex feminist. All right. You're an individual. If you want to have sex, you can have sex. If you don't, you don't. We could even say secularly, all right, we can have sex before marriage, but I need a short-term payment. Okay. In fact, no one says that. Wow. Okay. Honest people do, but that's effectively what's happening anyway. But if both people agree, again, ignoring what the Bible says, I don't care. You'll shoot your eye out, Frank. 2 Canadians start a GoFundMe to get Raymond and TM. Oh, thoughts of minds laid. He can afford it. He can fly out to Vegas. If I'm out there, I'll pick him up. I'll go drive him out to Pahrump, drop him off. I guess they got like a really good restaurant over at the Bunny Ranches in Pahrump. I just have a sandwich or something, talk to the gals, ask economic questions. So what is the going rate for this? Colin, $5. Oh, by the way, I'm going to be on Chad Elkham's podcast today in 2 hours, 4 p.m. my time. Make sure is it? Yeah. Chad Elkins' channel, me and Ray and Chad are all going to be on the same show. Colin, $5 commercial from the gym today. Daughter gets her college acceptance. Tears of joy in their eyes. Parents open a Rocket Money to take out a HELOC. I don't care. I don't care. Do you know, I think like the third largest holders of student loan debts is the parents. So it's Gen X, still, I think, number one, millennials, and then parents thereof. Oh, fuck you people. I love it that you didn't raise your kids and you brought up basically parasites. Kids who are not independent, adults who are not independent. You got to take out the loan and you keep on help. What was it? Was it like 1 in 2 parents are paying for adult children? And the average was $1,800 a month? I dated your daughters back in the day. It wasn't much different in the 90s and the aughts. I dated your daughters. You deserve it. You deserve that financing. You deserve to have your parents and your adult children living with you. You deserve a multi-generational home. The handful of times I had these asshole dads like, well, what time you coming back? I'm like, dude, I'm coming back early because I got to sleep. The one guy, I got, what do you have? Not a gumball collection. He had a marble collection. No, another collection I got. I'm like, no, what? I got a gun collection. I'm like, I didn't know people in the Air Force were allowed to have guns. And that shut them up. fucking baby boomer dads. What are your intentions with my daughter? Fuck you. You spoiled brat, little suburbanite, privileged little bitch daughter. Meanwhile, I'm busting my ass off. Fuck, a sincere, from all the men who had to work, right? Dating your uptown girl, precious little princess, who was a fucking pain in the ass, by the way. For all of us real men, fuck you. Driving them out to the fucking suburbs, pick up some bitch from West Bloomington. Like, fuck you. Have fun raising her crotch fruit kid because you didn't raise her right and she found the bad boy criminal and dad's off in jail. Now you got to push your grandchild in the stroller because you're the new parent. Because you failed to parent your first kid. Flat scan, $2. My wife Instagrammed you an answer. On the chat. I am Boomer. So maybe I'll read it here. I got it on the apps. I'll keep this anonymous. Oh, you. You guys pay me to watch these things. Turned down a lot of work for us. Competency for sure. I'm good at doing my things. I don't want to identify you guys. And treat our clients well, but the industry just hasn't slowed for us. Yet I'm working on some ideas that when it does, with smaller generations coming up, but for now, it's good. But yes, industry is insane, and I can't believe what people spend. Grateful for. Hey, it's her day, and you take that fucking money, as much of it, and you run. I mean, provide a good service. I hope you make lots of money, playa. Down past your knees. We eloped courthouse to bar to airport to a place for a long weekend. Done. That's awesome. I'm glad you guys are truly in love. That's great. Well, y'all just wanted to get married. Didn't want a big fucking. See, there's a woman for you. Like, hey, I don't care. I just want to be with you. Really? None of the fuck. No, let's save her money and enjoy life. Let's spend her money paying Cappy a lot of money to watch videos. I'm glad you saved all the money for that. That's where your savings went. I appreciate that. So, no, that's great. I'm so happy you guys just love. That's she likes you, dude. Holy cow. All right, that's it. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. Link below. The Book of Numbers, analyzing the ROI in the pursuit of women. Please read that so you can save your money. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.